Welcome to What the Mother. I'm Boogie.
I'm Breezy.
How are you
I'm
guys
on.
doing?
How
I
are
think this is
you?
like episode 16.
Sweet
Sweet
16?
16,
Oh,
yes.
wow. Did you have a sweet 16 when you were younger?
Yeah, it sucked. My parents fought the whole time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, they were going through a divorce, so I don't know why they did that. Good times.
Good times.
But the DJ was good.
Oh, that's good. Did you
You
have
know,
to
it's
have
like,
them
it
on
tastes
separate
good, make you
candles?
think all right.
Oh,
Yeah, push
Jesus.
it real good. Now I'm dating myself.
Hello. Yeah, it's okay.
Doo,
Oh,
Before
God.
we start, I just also want to say you can catch us on Spotify, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, and you can even call up your gram and say, "Hey, Grandma,
Check
where
out
are
what's going
they?
on with What the Mother.
What the mother?"
Yes.
We're gonna talk Meatball Wars. What's going on, Breezy?
Well, it's pretty funny. It's like Meatball Gate 2025 has started. My current boyfriend, was married prior to us dating.
What? He was?
What? Shocking, people are married prior to being in another relationship sometimes. And although his ex-wife and I never really, I mean, we met, but briefly years ago, and she had posed this idea to him. Hey, would Bree be into, a little fun smack talk over a recipe on TikTok? And he mentioned it to me, and I'm like, yeah, sure. I thought it was kind of fun too, since she and I haven't met and we really haven't had a conversation. What a nice sort of like icebreaker, olive branch to just be like, hey, there's no reason why we need to hate on each other just because that's what history dictates people need to do in these type of situations.
Wait,
So
hold on for a second. But it all started because he did say that his ex's
yeah,
meatballs
yeah, all right. So we're gonna
were
go into
really
all
good.
right, all right, I'll fine, yeah,
He
yeah.
said they were really good, right?
He not that
And
they were
you
really good.
used ragu.
No. Not that they were really good. He had said that his ex's meatballs were the best meatballs
Ooh.
he's ever had. And now here's the thing. I took no offense to that because I mean this, have never cooked a meatball or made a meatball before in my life. So, and again,
Can't believe that.
listen, some of us just have our skills and that is not one of mine.
Okay.
I'm not, yeah, I mean, I need to up my game in the culinary world. But I've never made a meatball. Anytime I've made them, it's been to defrost them because they came out of a bag, which I know all the Italians are dying right now, but that's truly the world I came from. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So she jokingly said, but seriously, like, if you want the meatball recipe, how about we do this? Brie comes onto TikTok and she asks for it herself since she's the one that's going to be making them because she assumed that like I guess maybe that I had skills that I don't have. So we've been having a lot of fun with this.
Yes.
And
You could catch it on TikTok, What the
yes,
Mother NYC, and at Flaming Amy is her
yes,
handle. It's actually pretty funny, which is funny because I have a feeling that now that you have this recipe,
yeah,
Boogie and her
yeah,
kitchen will be assisting you in
yes.
making said meatballs because I make my own meatballs, which are pretty good.
Well, I do need a little help because I was watching her video where then she gives out the recipe, and I got overwhelmed when she started talking about more than one type of meat and a ratio of meat, and then mentioned something about a meatloaf mix, which I've never heard of.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking, do I need to go to a butcher? Is this a specialty shop? Does this exist in a supermarket? I've just never seen it.
No,
I
they
don't
they
know.
sell a meatloaf mix. It's usually pork, veal, and then red meat.
And then veal. Is that deer?
Yeah, it has veal in it.
No, I know, but is that deer?
Maybe.
Is that what veal is, right? Veal's deer. Oh no, that's venison.
No, veal is
Baby
Bambi.
deer?
I mean, you don't have to
Oh.
make it with that. You could just do. I make turkey meatballs.
No, no,
I'm
no.
trying to be a little
Excuse
healthier.
me. I'm going to make it the exact way her recipe says.
Are you going to
Because
cry the entire time while you're touching the meat?
I'm just shut up. Just
I can't do it.
I don't know, maybe. Do you wear gloves? Is this a glove thing?
I wash my hands a lot. I can't do
Right.
gloves.
Yeah.
I mean, I have for certain things.
Right.
I do have food prep gloves, but
Not
yeah,
really.
don't look at me like that. I have food
It
prep
was like
gloves.
bougie.
Sometimes you need them, but 95% of the times my hands are so freaking dry
Mm-hmm.
because I'm washing them over and over again.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
and I'm always wiping things down. I try to do a clean while I cook.
Okay.
Some people cook and then their house looks like it exploded. I hate that. Drives me nuts. Yeah. Raise
That's
your
me.
hand. I see you. I
That's
see you
me.
in the back. I see
Yeah.
you, girl, in the
I
back.
see.
Raise your hand.
I'm also the type that I somehow use every single dish, bowl, and utensil when I attempt to cook a meal. And it looks like I cooked Thanksgiving dinner. Meanwhile, it's me and the two kids. Like, I don't.
You made scrambled eggs, but you use like 10
Yeah.
pans.
Yes. I don't know
I
what's
know my son
happening.
cooked recently, and I was like, what in the French toast happened in my kitchen? All it was scrambled eggs. I was like, he's like, yeah, I did okay, right? I'm like,
Mhm.
oh,
Oh,
itchy.
speaking of messy kitchen, you'd get a kick out of this. So the other day, my ex calls me and was like, "You have to see the kitchen." You know, he lives in the house that we had together. "You have to see the kitchen." I'm like, "Oh no, what's the matter?" He's like, "No, no, no. I felt the need to like scrub it from top to bottom and really clean it." He was like in open house mindset. Like if you were going to have an open house and you want everything to look beautiful, sometimes I get in that mindset. And I'm like, "Really?" And I go over there and it's beautiful. I mean, gorgeous. He even like dusted the tops of the canisters, like really, like got in the little, but then it was like he doesn't want anybody to touch anything. My daughter's like, "Can I cook dinner
Now
here?"
you're not allowed to eat or cook in here again.
Exactly, exactly. I'm like, "Yeah, I know that feeling." Riley's like, "Am I allowed to cook in here?" And you could tell it hurt him. It hurt him to think that somebody was gonna make it look like it was lived in again, but is what it is. I, I'm trying very hard right now. I need a moment. I'm sorry. I need a break in life.
I'm like, what? You want
I'm
to
trying.
visit?
Well, you could see that my hair is wet again. And I hate to sound like a broken record. It's just, it's what's happening. Like I'm overheating. And I'm not going to cry. I'm
You
not going to cry.
sure?
I'm not going to cry. Shut up. It's just my body is just broken.
No, you're not broken. It's
Oh,
just perimenopause. Trust, man. I mean, I was in that. I was in the trenches. I felt like I was crawling through the military style while they're shooting over me and I'm sweating and I'm dirty. I just took my second shower of the day. So,
oh God. Fuck.
yeah.
I'm not
My hair looks
crying.
pretty
It's
good.
just sweat coming out my eyes. Sorry.
She's sweating and I'm like, I'm admiring my hair.
No, you look gorgeous. You look like you just had somebody do your hair, and I look like a freaking, I don't know,
Well,
like I put a
I had my
gallon of
sparkles.
Jello.
I had my
What?
sparkles dyed not that long ago. They were coming in fast and furious.
They look wonderful.
But my hair looks red here. Meanwhile, I have blonde highlights. I'm like, what the fuck
It's all
is up
about
with
the
this
lighting.
camera? I have looked at this camera 20 million times to try to figure out why I look like I have reddish hair.
It's the lighting. You just need another light source.
I
I
have
don't know.
I have so much light in this room, and there's light above me,
Hmm. We'll
and
have
there's
to
like
figure it out. It's
two
production
huge
issues.
windows. I don't know. Whatever.
You look fabulous
It's
anyway.
fine. It's fine.
All right, redirect
So
me. Redirect.
we went upstate
Mm-hmm.
checking out colleges. I told you that, and we were hanging out with friends, and they have teenagers. And I don't know, they were talking. You know, we were doing like a whole fire pit, hanging out. It was nice. It
Mm-hmm.
was actually chilly upstate, but I'm sitting there. I'm having my little wine. I'm looking at these kids, and I don't know what the fuck they were talking about. And they were speaking English. They're like, yeah, 6'7", brah, brah. Was
What does that mean?
I have no idea. And then when I asked them, they like start laughing, like, you don't know our language. It's like pig. Remember I don't know if you ever learned pig Latin.
Oh
It's kind
God,
of like
I
pig Latin.
tried. I can't do
Me
it.
neither.
I
They were
can't.
like, I felt like they were trying to learn a new language and they were talking shit about us, but I couldn't. I was just like, what does that mean? They were like, yeah, whatever. You don't know, brah. I was like, call me bro one more time. And I'm like, no, it's not bro. It's bra.
No, no. I was in the car the other night with my daughter and my niece and my son. No, that's a lie. My niece was not there. I had her in my head. My daughter's friend, dear Lord. And one of them said a something, something, bruh. And I said, is there a difference? Is there a difference between bro and bruh? And my daughter's answer was, it's a lifestyle that you're not part of. Okay. Okay. First of all, I wanted to slap her in the face because it just sounded rude. But I was like, what does that even mean? It's a lifestyle that I'm not part of.
What are you for?
No, I'm like, what? And then her friend was
But
like,
is it BRUH or BRAH? Because there's the bra and there's the bruh.
I don't know that I've heard of bra. Fuck is that?
Like a bra.
Bra, bra. No, they said that sometimes it's laziness. And I'm like, you're too tired or too something to say bro. So we're just going to go bruh. And sometimes it depends on who you're delivering the bro or bruh to, how close they are with you. And I'm like, oh, there's a formal one and an informal. So bro is more formal, right?
Okay. All right.
Bruh is like, you're
I mean, I know
right
what
hand.
sus is. I learned sus.
That's so like 2023.
Oh, shit. I'm going to smack you in the car. That was the one that I was like, all right, that makes sense. But now, recently, my daughter said my hair was serving.
Serving.
So
That's
that's a good
good.
thing.
That's a
Yeah,
good
that's
thing.
good.
You're right. Right. Yeah. Oh my God.
She's like, ooh,
Well,
mom, your hair is serving. And I was like, okay.
you're like, yeah, it is.
I was like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? She's like, come on, it's a good thing.
My God.
Like, you don't know? And then I thought about some of the slang we used to say back in the day,
Right.
and my parents
Right.
used to get annoyed too. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I still use them, and my kids look at me like, "Ugh, no one says that.
Yeah. Well,
Because
it's funny because they
I was
used
like,
to
that's
say,
dope. And they're like, dope. Ew.
oh, yeah, no, no. I remember like last year, the kids would say, oh, that's giving, so and so vibe. That's giving a whatever vibe. And I kind of like that. And then
Yeah.
I made the mistake of using that. And they're like, Mom, please don't do that. And it's not even that anymore. I'm like, what is it? It's giving. It's
Yeah.
giving, period and sentence. There's no vibe. There's no telling you what it's giving, just that it's giving.
It's giving something.
It's giving, and they all know what the something is. And I'm standing there like, it's giving what? And they're like, Mom, please don't try. And I'm like, when did I become that like uncool mom?
Yeah. I even said that. When did I lose my fucking cool factor? Because these
Yeah.
kids have no idea how cool I am.
No idea.
They have no idea all the bad things I did.
Yeah. Don't tell them.
No.
Yeah.
No, but it was like, what was the other thing? Oh, it was serving, giving. I don't know. I think it's like a lazy way to say anything.
Yeah.
Like when it's really cold out, I say it's brick. And they,
What?
oh, you never heard? That was like a Queens thing. I was like, yo, it's brick out there. Brick.
No. See, when you say brick, I think of like shitting a brick, or it's like so
No.
cold, like hard, like a brick. Does it have anything to do with a brick itself?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I've never
But
heard of
that was the line we used to say. I was like, man, it's brick out here.
that. Okay.
That
Now
meant it was cold.
I'm going to bring that back.
I don't know if people still use that line, but I know some of my old school Queens friends do. Because one of them posted a picture of a brick and said, you know what this means. If you know what this means, go get your colonoscopy.
Right.
You ever see that one?
Yes.
If you use this, it's time for your colonoscopy. I'm like,
Yes.
fuck, really?
Mhm.
How do they know?
Yep.
I showed my kids, like, I don't even know it was a Walkman. They're like, what is this?
Yeah. That's foolish.
They have that in museums now.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a museum up in Rochester. It's like it's called the Play Museum. I mean, it's amazing.
Right.
There's this huge screen, a Donkey Kong screen. I mean, remember Donkey Kong? Oh my God, I was obsessed with that game. And they had like archives, and it was Walkman, tape cassette. I was like, Fuck? This is in a museum. This wasn't that long ago.
Oh my god. Did they have MC Hammer pants? Did you have MC Hammer pants?
Did I have them? I
Were they
had like,
in?
yeah, what was it called? They weren't called well, they were called MC Hammer pants, but they were like, they came out where they were like baggy and then they came tight towards the bottom.
Yes, tapered at the ankle.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
they had
sometimes you roll up your pants so that you could
yes.
see your chunky sock.
Yep.
Yeah, we need our colonoscopies. Okay.
And then did you ever have the ones that looked kind of like MC Hammer pants and they were like diaper pants and they had the fabric that went over?
Oh, like underneath your ass type came around? Like they came
No.
around
What?
over?
No. I can't explain it. I can't. They were just awful. They were like genie pants. They were, I don't know, they were comfortable.
I had genie pants. I remember leg warmers, and they were neon. They were neon, and I had a matching sweater. I thought that was like the best thing ever.
With
And
like, did you do the side
two-tone,
ponytail with like the
yeah,
different scrunchies and the
two-tone pants?
Mm-hmm.
Some of that stuff's coming back. A lot of the '90s is coming back.
Yeah. Did you wear more than one pair of socks?
Yes.
Like white?
With Keds.
Yes. I would wear, white and then like hot pink.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, yeah. And then all of a sudden I was going from like a size 6 shoe to an 8 because I had on like 3 inches of sock.
Yep. I know. I remember my mom yelling at me for that. She's like, "What the hell is this? Why are these shoes so big?" And I'm like, "I need to move my socks. Why am I washing like 20 pairs of socks for 2 days? Because I had to wear like 3 socks at a time, and then like the tie-dye dye would fuck up the white sock.
Yes.
Yeah, it would mess up the whole wash.
You just reminded me that I have laundry at the that I have laundry in the laundromat in the washing machine, so that after this I need to go and switch it over into the dryer, so I don't have an issue where I.
It reminds you of things.
Well, I have to set the alarm on my phone. It's.
Imagine, what did we do before all this stuff? Calendars?
I guess. Well, that, and we also weren't going through some fucking hormonal, godforsaken hell phase in our life that was sucking our brain cells out.
Do you think it's messing with your memory?
You think? I forgot to pick my child up at camp last week. Shall we remember that one?
Ooh.
I shared that with you.
No, I remember you picking him up and you didn't know your number, so then you couldn't even get your kid. You had to share some ID. Now you forgot him?
Yeah. Are you sure I didn't share this?
Mother of the year right here, ladies and gentlemen. No, you forgot. You were like, "Oh, he gave me a number." And I go, "Okay." And I walk away and I come to get my kid and they go, "What's your number?" And you're like,
that was the first day. The second day.
You forget him?
I was hosting a meeting at work from 2:30 to 3:30. And at the end of the meeting, I'm standing there and I'm like, I feel like I forgot something. And I'm looking at the agenda that I wrote up and I'm looking at my Outlook, on the calendar. And I'm like, no, got nothing here. Well, I'm usually not at work at 3:30. I'm like, I don't know, something doesn't feel right. And then all of a sudden it smacked me in the face. I'm like, holy shit, my kid needs to be picked up.
What time was camp until?
There's a rolling dismissal between 3 and 3:30, and it was 3:31, and I was not anywhere near camp. So I am panic calling.
So what did they do with him? They just left him there, tied to a tree?
Tied to a tree with a note that says, "You suck, Mom." No, so I'm calling parents that I know, and nobody's picking up. And then finally, I get a hold of one of Dave that I bring up on here, his wife. They don't even have a child that goes to the camp, but they live close to it. And I get his wife on the phone, my friend Vicky, and I'm like, oh my God, can you please go get Frankie out? And I'm like panic. And she's like, I got him. Don't worry about it. And then a friend of mine calls and she's like, hi, what's going on? I'm like, I forgot Frankie. And she's like, my husband is running late. He's going to get their son. He'll grab him. Thank God. Right? Thank God. Like, because it's, all joking aside, you feel like shit.
Yeah.
You
my
feel
daughter
and
used
then
to go to aftercare and I had to get her at 6 and I there was a bad accident. I pull up at 5:59. The looks I got, like if
Yeah.
I was a terrible parent.
Yeah. But at least you were on your way there because you remembered that you had a child that was
I was trying to
inactive
make you
there.
feel better.
Oh my God. And then the best is today I reach out to a friend.
Wait, did they give him? Did they give him your son? Because they said they had a rule, right?
Yeah, but I was able to give them the number and do the whole thing over the phone. So that was
Okay.
fine. And then today I reached out to a friend before craziness and I was just like, is there any way you can grab Frankie when you grab your son? They're in the same group. She's like, no problem. My husband's going to get him. She's like, what's the number? I'm like, I got it. I'm on top of this. 16. It wasn't 16.
Where'd you get 16 from then? The 16th episode. That's why. Hey.
Maybe it wasn't 16 because the dad, lovely enough to pick up my child, says, oh, yeah, he's number 16. They go, no, he's not. And now this poor man has to go walk over to the trailer that they made me walk over the last
the
time.
trailer of shame.
Yep. And then they call me and they're like, hi, Mr. So-and-so's here to pick up Frankie. I'm like, yeah, he didn't have the correct number. I'm like, I thought it was 16. And it wasn't.
What was it?
No idea. They didn't tell me.
They
Because it
won't
will
tell you.
change. It will change every day, which isn't working for me. I need it to be 16 every day.
Why can't they just have you show your ID and take your kid? I don't really understand that.
I don't know. Because
take a picture of your ID.
Yeah.
And then you put down who are your emergency pickups.
I know, but like this dad,
so you label half the town in case you forget them.
I know. But this dad wouldn't have been on my emergency contact list, but I could give him a number that isn't my son's.
True. He brought home with some other kid. You were like, who's this?
They're like, we don't know, but he's number 16. He's like, all right, I'll take him.
His name's Tyler. Here's your new son. There you go.
I text her. I'm like, I am so sorry. And if I could ever help you out. And then I'm like, no one's going to want me to help out by picking up their kid. They're going to be like,
they're like, yeah, we're good. We're good, Breizy.
We're good.
We don't need you to pick up our child.
You're not our emergency contact any longer. Oh, it's awful.
Who's this kid you just dropped off at our doorstep?
I know.
Not your kid? What?
You said he was 23. No.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah, so it's been a little hectic start for the summer, but it's okay. I'm hoping by August.
Does he like the camp at least?
He loves it. He loves it. He comes home drenched with sweat and dirt every day, as he should, like a disgusting little boy. Yep. He's having so much fun. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it's funny. My son he stunk. He had fun though. Mm-hmm. He took a shower and then he would literally pass out early. It was like amazing.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, like I would go upstairs and check on him and he was already sleeping. He's like the type of kid that when he's tired, he does the Irish goodbye. He sneaks away, goes to sleep. Mm-hmm. And then I have my other child who doesn't sleep at all. And every time I ask her, how was camp? Oh, it was okay. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you little shit. And then she would complain about something. I know how to swim and they won't let me swim in the deep part because no one else was swimming in the deep part. Or I know how to do this and they won't let me do that. And I'm like, oh my God. Or they played a game and somebody cheated. I'm like, all right, it's camp, man.
Don't take it so seriously.
Enjoy yourself. I did feel bad for them. Both got bitten by, I don't know if it was a bee or a wasp. Mm. And I just remember the guy calling me and I was like in a meeting and I pick up my phone because I saw his number come up and I'm like, oh my God, someone got hurt. And he was like the nicest guy and he had like this Irish accent. He's like, they're bitten by bees, but they're not swollen or anything. And I'm like, okay. He's like, are they allergic to anything? I'm like, I don't know. They've never gotten stung by a bee before.
Yeah. So both of your kids at the same time?
No, it literally was like the same summer though. First it was him. He got stung in his neck. Oh. And I was like, is his neck swollen? Can he breathe? And they're like, oh yeah, he's just fine. He's playing. It's a little hurt.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, top of the morning to you. Your kid's head's not swollen like a watermelon. He's fine. Right? Then 2 weeks later, because I don't know if you know, remember August for some reason is more bees. I just noticed there's more bees in August than September. So the camp went into August because it was like a soccer type camp. And then 2 weeks later, my daughter gets stung by a bee. And he calls me with the same thing. So I pick up, he's like, so far she's not swollen or anything. I guess your kids aren't allergic to bees. And I was like, do you have like Benadryl in case? Like, should I pick them up? Do I got to take them to the doctor? He's like, no, I just pulled out the stinger. I was surprised he didn't say I pulled out the stinger. I sucked the venom out.
Right. I gave them a pint of Guinness.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck's going on? But it was the same summer. It was like back to back. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And it was like, I'm at work and I'm like, hello, are they okay?
Right. I know. And the phone calls every time, excuse me, even during the year, you get the phone call and you see the school name come up. I'm like, God, what happened? And now I know if it's my daughter, I know it's usually stomach ache, cramps, headache. If it's my son, it's usually we need to have a meeting because something occurred. So one's usually medical, one's,
really, because for my kids, it's I got to take him to the emergency room and ride in the back of an ambulance. My son, remember those? I'm like, dude, cut 6 stitches on his chin. No, and then the other time he broke his arm at school.
Wow. He goes big. I drove
so fast, I beat the ambulance there.
He goes big.
Yeah, he doesn't fuck around. Mm-hmm. And then my daughter, usually she threw up or something rando.
Right.
But she never was a big nurse person. But as soon as the nurse called, I was like, fuck. I knew it was my son, something happened to him. And then she had this, I don't know if you remember that nurse we had. She sounded like the woman from Monsters, Inc. And she calls me and she's like, yeah, he fell. He's going to need, and she's trying to whisper stitches, but she does a shitty ass job of it. Right. She's like, he's going to need stitches. And I hear him going, stitches. And then he starts crying. And I'm like, great.
Yeah, it's the people that like scream whisper or like whisper scream.
Yeah.
Where you like lower your voice, like, okay. Like,
yeah, so that was great. I was like, okay. And it was funny because that day that he needed stitches, I had just come from a doctor's appointment with my daughter. Mm-hmm. I'd taken her out of school early. So she's like, do you want me to grab your daughter? And I'm like, she's already in the car. I had to literally go from the doctor's office with her, drive to the school, and take him to get stitches. I was like, I spent my whole day at the doctor's. The broken arm thing, I was on a call, and I was wearing like leggings and a big old T-shirt, and I'm running out of this house like a bat out of hell, not realizing I got like the work. Like I look like a mess, but I didn't care. The next thing I'm in an ambulance. His crazy. Arm was in a zigzag.
Ugh.
Yeah, that was a bad break.
No, that's awful. Frankie had a like a laceration on his forehead, and we brought him over to like a PM pediatrics, right? It was like Super Bowl Sunday one year. And they're like, I would suggest you go over to the hospital and have a plastic surgeon stitch that up because it's on his face. Okay. And it's one of these moments that as a mom, I really regret because I'm pretty sure that the plastic surgeon was drinking. Yeah. Yeah. And I felt in that moment, which I'm very surprised at myself because I have no problem like speaking up, but I felt in that moment, like, who am I to say to this plastic surgeon, are you sober? Like, I really, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why, he didn't do a good job?
No, he reeked of alcohol.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, was he at a Super Bowl Sunday party and they called him in to come and do this? But I felt like, again, who am I to call somebody out? And then afterwards, I'm like, what the fuck? Who am I? I'm this kid's mom.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to call him out, it should have been me. But I was panicked. He's bleeding from his head. I'm like, okay, like he's probably still going to do a better job than I would do sober. So let's get this shit done. But he did a nice job. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I allowed a drunken sailor man to stitch my kid's forehead. So that was my first.
He's like, I'm just going to take out the stapler.
Oh, he was Irish too. Yeah, he was Irish too.
Sorry to all you Irish people. I am
right,
Irish.
I'm half I'm half Irish. You could say it.
I am Irish by injection.
Mhm.
Um,
Did you say you're
yeah,
Irish by injection? What does that mean?
my husband's half Irish.
Oh. Oh.
Winky, winky.
Oh, wow, Bree. I'm not picking things up very quickly these
Come
days.
on,
Oh,
girl.
why is my laptop shaking like a freaking beast here? Okay.
Yeah. No, I hear you. When my son they had to put him under to adjust his arm
Ugh.
and make sure they didn't need to do surgery.
Mhm.
They asked us if we wanted to go home or stay overnight and wait for the specialist for the
Right.
next day. I said, you guys will keep him comfortable. God forbid he moves or does something and he's home and
Right.
he's in pain. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
bring him right back.
Mhm.
So he was the only kid in the pediatric wing of the hospital that we were at. And, he was like 7 and he was all cute 7 and please and thank you. And the nurses were like, ah. So he was getting extra goodies and
Mhm.
snacks and this. And he was like, I like this hospital. I'm like, you're the only kid in the wing.
Right.
They were waiting on him hand and foot. But when they put him under, the things that came out of his mouth, I was like, what the hell is happening to my kid? He said that my head was on my husband's body and my husband's head was on my body. And he
God.
was uncontrollably giggling and laughing. He thought it
Ugh.
was hilarious.
Right.
And I was like, how long is this going to last?
Mhm.
For a good half an hour, he wouldn't shut up about it until he
That's
came to.
creepy. That's
Yeah.
creepy. Yeah, my daughter coming out of anesthesia just tried to beat the shit out of me, and she was 2.5. And it was just like, but like she was throwing hooks, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, no, he was very chill. He was
No.
very chill. And when he broke his leg, that was a bad break.
Mhm.
That was during soccer. He
You
was on
saw a
ketamine.
bone, right?
No,
You
no,
saw
no.
no, that was
If he didn't have his shin guard on, his bone would have came out.
oh,
It was gross. But they had to put
sorry.
him on ketamine,
Mhm.
special K,
Mhm.
to adjust it. And he
Mhm.
said he saw Kobe Bryant and his late grandmother on a cloud hanging out, and they
Hey,
told him that he would be okay. Then proceeded to ask for Chick-fil-A and sing the Bad Boys theme song over and over again.
that's amazing. Please tell me you recorded that just for your
I
own.
recorded some of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was hilarious. The doctors were like, "This is hilarious. This kid
that's
would not. He would
great.
not. The whole time they're doing the adjustment,
Mhm.
he's singing Bad Boys, Bad Boys."
Oh my god. That's fantastic.
Oh, it was pretty funny.
Oh. All right,
Oh man.
lady. Well,
What?
on that note,
Yes. On that note, we're also we
yes,
got to go. You got to go grocery shopping.
we do have to go grocery shopping because we have some balls of meat to make.
Yes.
Mhm. And
She's
we
gonna
have
look
to
at the video again, get all
yes,
the ingredients. We're gonna
yes.
set it up in my kitchen. We're gonna wash
Mhm.
our hands, and we're gonna
Yes,
make
we
some
will.
meatballs. We're gonna make some
Meet
meatballs.
the balls. Sounds good, lady. All right.
And then we'll post it and we'll share it and we'll have the man taste test them and we'll see whose balls are better. Whose balls are better?
Balls would you rather have in your mouth? I don't know what I'm saying. Oh God. All right.
All right.
Now I'm all the
Ooh,
light.
oh,
I
hey.
know. We got to figure out our lighting. All right. Well, I will see you next week.
Yep. Be good to your moms, guys. Have a good one.
Yes. Bye
Bye.
bye.